listening to the Life Edit Project podcast, where busy, ambitious high achievers get the tools they need to fight overwhelm and overthinking with balance, self-mastery, and a positive mindset. I'm your host, Elizabeth Burrows. I'm serving up bite-sized truth bombs in a judgment-free zone based on my perspective as a life coach, wife, mom, and recovering overachiever. We keep it real over here, which usually means some combination of insightful, entertaining, and a hot mess express. So, if you're looking for perfection, look elsewhere. But if you're still with me, let's dig into this week's episode. Good day, good people. I'm so excited about this week's episode. I just can't even deal. Let me tell you how it's going to go because it's a little different than all my other episodes. In a few minutes, I'm going to share a pre-recorded interview or conversation that I did with a very special guest, my daughter. But before we dive into that, I've got a few things to share. First, it is officially time to celebrate. Last week, we passed 500 downloads of this podcast. Yay! So I'm super thrilled. And of course, super grateful. Thank you to all of you who have listened, shared, rated, and reviewed this show because you made this milestone possible. To celebrate, I have awarded one lovely listener with a free 30-minute coaching session, which I'll record and then share with you all here as a special episode. It's going to be amazing, so stay tuned for that. I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, if you want me to help you work through a challenge or make a decision and you want that advice from me or that insight from me here on the podcast, you still have a chance. Episode 20 will be another Ask Me Anything episode. So just use the form that's linked up in the show notes to submit your question by Sunday, October 1st. Nothing is off limits, so give me what you got. And yes, you can remain as anonymous as you like, so you don't have to worry about having your personal business blasted all across the internet. I can't wait to hear from you and to see what kind of questions y'all have for me. So now let me tee up this conversation that you're going to hear between me and my daughter. So in case you're new to the podcast, or maybe just new to me and my life, my husband and I have been married for 12 years and we have one daughter. My husband did join me on the show back on episode 11. And since I got such great feedback from y'all on that episode, I was sure that you were going to want to hear from my baby girl as well. For most of this season 1, I've really just been focusing on providing practical tips to help high achievers and perfectionists deal with the challenges that you face in everyday life. But one thing that we haven't spent much time on yet is relationships. For me, the most major relationships in my life are the ones I have with my husband and my daughter. So I really wanted to offer you a peek into those areas of my life so that you can get to know me better, and maybe it would shed some light on how my personal experiences shape my perspective as a coach, but also to show you kind of how my coaching lens impacts the way that I show up in my relationships. Now, disclaimer, I did not know how this interview with my daughter was going to play out. I had no clue, but I am delighted with the result. Y'all, I have a great kid. I really do. And I left the conversation that she and I had just feeling so grateful for her and also feeling just really proud of who she is as a person. I think this whole time, one of my unconscious fears as a mom has been that I would mess up this tiny human that's been placed in my care. But after having this conversation with her, y'all, I think I'm doing all right. I'm okay. So here are a few things maybe to keep in mind as you listen to this conversation. One, obviously, I am not the only parent she has, so I cannot take credit for all of the amazing ways that she is as a person, right? No matter how much my ego wants to take all the credit. My husband is a wonderful and loving and doting father, and he supports me in being the kind of mom that I want to be. So I'm super grateful to him for who he is, both to me and to our daughter. Also, I think this was the first time that I sat down with my daughter and had a conversation so explicitly focused on her perspective and my perspective of what kind of mom I am. But I want to be clear, this is not at all the first time that we've talked about these kinds of things. So I've made it a point her whole life to just be transparent with the fact that I'm a person just like she is. I just happen to be older. And I've also tried to create an environment where she can give me feedback if she has something to share with me, and where she can ask questions. And because of that, we have conversations that touch on a little bit of everything, just as part of regular life around here. I have also tried to bring a level of intentionality to my parenting, and I really hope that that comes through in the conversation as well. Finally, if you are listening to this and you are a parent, I invite you to have your kids join you in listening to this episode. Maybe, just maybe, it'll spark some conversation and insights for you and your family. And that's really all I can hope for. So that's all the preamble I'm going to give y'all. Here is my conversation with my daughter, Naomi, where she officially tells me that, yes, I am a cool mom. Enjoy. Good day, good people. Welcome to the Life Edit Project podcast. I am your host and life coach, Elizabeth Burrows, and joining me today is a very special guest, one of my favorite people on the entire planet in the history of humanity, my daughter, Naomi. Say hi.
Hi.
So
I'm a bit nervous.
It's okay. It's just like we're having a conversation.
Okay.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So, Naomi.
Yes?
Let's ease on into this conversation here. Why don't you tell the listeners about you? So, how old are you?
I am 9 years old.
9 years old. And just so y'all know, she does have a little case of the sniffles today. But I told her that it was no big deal and that she doesn't sound weird. So, y'all let me know. She sounds wonderful, doesn't she? Yeah. Okay. So you're 9 years old. What grade are you in?
I'm in 4th grade.
In 4th grade. And I can't believe she's growing up. I very much would like her to slow down, but she insists on growing up.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Is there anything you want people to know about you?
I love to draw and I love to watch TV.
She loves to draw. She loves to watch TV. Yeah. I would say more than just drawing, Naomi is one of the most creative people I've ever come across. Her brain is just always thinking about drawing, and she's always creating and making something. And this is not new. This has been the case since she was about 2 or 3 years old. You give this girl, like when she was really little, like you give her some crayons and a piece of paper and she would go to town. But I think like all kids are like that to an extent, right? But as she got a little bit older and her motor skills developed a bit more, it was like give that girl a roll of Scotch tape and some paper and some scissors and some glue. Oh my gosh. And she was gonna go to town.
The things I would do.
Oh yes. We turned your bedroom into your own personal art gallery during COVID.
And when she got me a sketchbook,
it was all over, right? Now she has really advanced in her artistic skill, and I'm not even allowed to look in her sketchbook without her permission because she's very protective over her creations.
The thing is, I don't really like a lot of attention.
Yeah, but if I look at your sketchbook, my attention's not on you, it's on your sketches.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't really like when people are like, oh my gosh, this, oh my gosh, that. Because then, like, I'm like, wait, what is it? Because it kind of makes me tense up a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's understandable. Lots of people react that way. So, today's conversation between the two of us, I told Naomi that I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of our relationship as mother and daughter, and that I wanted to talk a little bit about motherhood, and she could talk a little bit about childhood. And I told her, I have a couple of questions here that I want to ask her, and she has a couple of questions for me. And while she did peek at my questions and I got to peek at hers, this is not a scripted show. This is a completely candid conversation. So I will be learning just as you are, and I hope y'all enjoy this. Okay. Because it's my show, Naomi, I'm going to ask the first question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my first question for you is, if you had to describe our family to a stranger, what would you say about us?
I'd say that we're full of really interesting people, and like we love to do certain things. We're not all the same. We like different stuff, and we're crazy.
We're crazy?
Yeah. Well, at least me and my dad.
So you and your dad are the crazy ones. I'm not crazy?
It depends.
I had to be crazy to marry your dad, right?
No, you didn't have to. He loved you because you're pretty, you're nice, you're just his type.
Oh, why, thank you. Okay. I think if I had to describe our family, I would say that we're unique and funny. I think everybody is funny in their own way, different ways. You and your dad are kind of jokesters. Y'all are really silly. I'm not as silly as y'all are.
Well, I was born on April Fool's Day.
That is true. Fun fact. Naomi was born on April 1st. And when I started, like, texting people that I had the baby, everyone thought I was joking.
It was the saddest story I ever heard.
No, when I sent them a picture of you, they were like, "Oh, it's real. She's actually here." Yeah. So, okay, your turn. You can ask me a question.
Okay. Is it hard to be a life coach and a mom at the same time?
Oh, that's a good question. Is it hard to be a life coach and a mom at the same time? I would say no.
Huh.
I actually think that being a life coach makes it easier for me to handle being a mom, because when I work, like, all of the work that I do as a coach, whether I'm working with clients or whether I'm coaching myself, whether I'm learning about more coaching concepts and skills and tools, all of those things are things that help me be a better person and even be a better mom for you. So I actually think that it's easy to be a mom and a life coach. Okay. I guess it's my turn to ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's one. My next question for you is, do you like having me as a mom?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Because you're my mom.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things I could say about you.
We'll say a few. That's why we're here.
You're funny. You're a good mom to me. You make me laugh sometimes. You're nice to my friends and me, and
I'm a cool mom.
Yeah, you're not just a regular mom. You're a cool mom.
Yeah. That's cool. I like having you as a daughter. Yeah, I think you're the best daughter I could have had. I learned a lot from you. And
Learned what?
Well, you help me. One, I think you keep me young. Although at the same time, sometimes you make me feel very old.
Like that heart thing.
Like, remember that time where you told me that I was born in the 1900s? And you asked me if they had cars when I was a kid?
Well, I was really little, so...
Yeah, but still, that made me feel pretty old.
Yeah.
But no, you teach me a lot about what it means to be a good person. You teach me a lot about how everything that I do matters and how, I can do even little things and have a big impact. If not on the world, at least on you.
I've always wanted to teach you art.
You've always wanted to teach me art?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What kind of art?
All the types of art that I know.
Oh.
Like, maybe with oil pastels, maybe with paint, maybe with markers, maybe even just pencil art, because I have a bunch of pencil art.
Okay. Well, let's make a date, okay?
Okay.
Ooh, we should do our own, like, paint and sip. And we'll get some fancy juice and we'll put them in some fancy cups and we'll get a canvas and we'll paint a picture. How about that?
Okay, but let's not plan in a podcast.
Thank you for the reminder. Okay, it's your turn to ask me another question.
Okay. What is it like being a mom?
What is it like being a mom?
Yeah.
Being a mom, it's a lot of different things. It's exhausting sometimes. It's really entertaining a lot of the times, I think. It's fun.
I know, but I'm annoying, so...
What? No.
Kinda.
I don't think you're annoying. I think...
Depends.
No. I mean, you can do things that annoy me, but that doesn't mean that you as a person are annoying. I think that, you're a kid, and as a kid, you have a different type of energy, and you're into different kinds of things than I'm into as an adult.
Like, I'm not into Barbie dolls.
I've never been into Barbie dolls, so... That doesn't annoy me.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, so sometimes when I just want to like sit quietly and read a book and you want to blast your YouTube channels and listen to your TikToks or whatever it is that you do.
I don't watch TikTok.
You watch TikToks that have been uploaded to YouTube. So things like that, I don't get them. And so sometimes like...
Neither do I.
Yeah, well, sometimes if it feels too loud for me, sometimes you might think that I'm annoyed, but sometimes what it just is that my senses are a little overstimulated. So I might be tired of noise, or I know one that you probably notice a lot. Sometimes I tell you not to touch me. Yes.
But that's why, because I love you.
I know, you're very affectionate, and I love that you're very affectionate. But sometimes I can't handle the touch. It's just a bit too much. Like if I'm feeling a little stressed or overwhelmed and then you touch me, sometimes it can just like send me over the edge. And I don't want to lose my temper. So instead I tell you, please don't touch me right now. Like I need a moment. And when I've calmed down a bit, then I come and I scoop you up into a big hug.
I love when you do that.
Yes. I love hugs. Yeah, so being a mom is a lot of things. I would say also that being a mom can be scary sometimes because, one of the things I am is responsible for you.
Like when I trip and fall or something?
Yes. Anytime you get hurt, that can be really scary.
Like,
Yeah, like last year when you injured your knee, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, that was pretty scary for me too.
or like if you get sick and you have like a really high fever, those types of things are scary because I can't always fix them.
I don't even know if that happened before.
Yes, you were much younger though.
Oh.
Yeah, you were much younger. You probably don't remember.
Oh, I do remember now.
Yeah, we had to take you to a special clinic and everything. Yeah. So yeah, being a mom is a lot of different things, but it's challenging. So I would say being a mom means that I have to like work hard to learn, and I have to work hard at being patient, and I have to work hard at making sure that I'm giving you everything that you need, because that's why you're my kid. I'm supposed to help you and give you the things that you need that you can't do for yourself. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this special episode of the Life Edit Project podcast. And I hope you're getting some ideas and inspiration for the kind of relationship you can have with your kids. But real talk, parenting is one of the most challenging experiences that you'll ever face. And while everyone's parenthood journey is different, one thing we all need is support. If you want someone to help you overcome the endless mom guilt, to cope with the stress of raising a family, or just learn how to be a more intentional parent, I got you, boo. Use the link in the show notes to book a free call with me to find out how my one-on-one coaching services can help you be the kind of parent that you want to be. Okay, back to the show. I guess it's my turn to ask the question, right?
Uh-huh.
What's something that you think I could get better at as a mom?
That's a tough question.
And it's okay. I want you to answer honestly.
Get better at?
Yeah.
Maybe I really need to think about this, because you're an amazing mom, and I know that you think that you need to improve on things, but I'm only a little kid, and I know that you're my mom, and, like, I think you're amazing at everything, but the thing is, like, you think that you still need to do things, and you still need to improve on things, but since, like, I don't know a lot, well, that came out wrong, since I, like, don't really, my mind isn't stimulated all the way, then, like, I think that you're the perfect mom. I think you don't do anything wrong, and it's just, I love you.
Aww.
Yeah.
So what I just heard you say was that all of the things that I worry about and stress out over, and that I think I'm being like really bad at, you don't even notice because I'm the only mom you've ever had, and you don't know it's supposed to be any different?
Yeah, but, like, sometimes I know what's going on, so I know better, except, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't help it, I just want to hang out with her, because, like, you know, I'm an only child, sometimes I feel lonely, so, like, sometimes I just want to hang out with you since Dad's at work, and I'm bored of TV. Yeah, I'm bored of everything. I just want to be with you.
Yeah. So I don't mind you being with me. I love it. I love spending time with you. I just know that, like, because I work from home, a lot of the times, even though I'm here with you, I know sometimes, like, you want my full attention, but my attention is on my work.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there are times where I wonder if, like, I'm neglecting you sometimes. Cause
What's neglect mean?
Neglect means I'm not taking care of you good enough.
Oh.
Yeah, so there are times where I wonder if I'm not taking care of, you know, your emotions that much because maybe you feel like I'm ignoring you. And it's not that I'm ignoring you. I always want you to spend time with me. And I even don't mind if you spend time with me while I'm working, as long as I'm able to still focus, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then when I'm done focusing or I'm done doing whatever it is I'm doing, I want you to know that you can have my full attention.
Mm-hmm. I get it now.
Yeah. Okay, your turn to ask me a question.
So, this is the last question I have.
Okay.
So when it comes to being a mom, what's the most difficult thing and what's the most easy thing?
Ooh, a two-parter.
Yeah. You can start with the easy one if you want.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I think the easiest thing is to love you. And to like you. Like, you're a really good kid.
Am I likable?
You're very likable. But not just that. I also think you're a very interesting kid. Like, you fascinate me. All of the things that you're into and the things that you enjoy. Like, as you've grown up and as you continue to grow up and your style changes and, like, the kinds of toys that you like changes and, you know, the things that you're into and the things that you obsess over.
Yeah.
Like, all of that stuff, it fascinates me. And I think you're a really interesting person. I think you're very kind and generous. And so I like you. Like, you're funny. You have a good sense of humor. You're not like, I mean, you are a little dramatic, but in an entertaining way, not in a stressful way. So I like that. So I enjoy having you as a daughter because you're pretty cool. So yeah, so just loving you and, you know, getting to spend all this time with you, living with you that's, I'd say, the easy part, which is a lot of it, right? Because, you know, I'm your mom, you're my daughter, you're 9, so we spend a lot of time together. So we live together, right? So yeah. The hardest thing, I think the hardest thing is figuring out how to give you space to grow and, like, figure out who you are without, while keeping you safe, but without,
like, questioning so much.
No, without trying to make you do the things that I want you to do.
Oh.
Right? So so as your mom, I don't think so. I believe that it is my job to protect you, and it's my job to provide for you, and it's my job to give you kind of the space and freedom to find yourself and, you know, and try things. I don't believe that it's my job as your mom to tell you what to do. I mean, like, I will say, hey, Naomi, pick up those clothes off the floor, right? Like, I will tell you.
Time to take a shower.
Right. So I will tell you what to do, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I never tell you what to do, but, like, if you want to play a sport, I'm not going to say, hey, Naomi, I think you should play this sport. I think as a parent, right, I think as a parent, my job is to help you figure out which sport you want to play. And then my job is to get you signed up for it. Yeah, but because I'm human, I have lots of opinions. And so sometimes I might think, oh, I feel like Naomi would have a lot of fun cheerleading because I was a cheerleader and I think it would be really cool. But if you're not into cheerleading, then it's not my job to make you sign up for cheerleading. If you want to do volleyball, then my job is to get you signed up for volleyball and come to your games and cheer you on, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's cool. Let me see if I have any other questions for you. Oh, okay.
Oh, what?
I think maybe I have 2 more questions.
2 more.
So this question is, are there ever any times where you feel like I'm not listening to you, or I don't care about you?
It's not really that of a big deal, but it's only when you're on the phone. But obviously, you're not listening to me because you're listening on the person on the phone. So I would say no.
So if we're having a conversation, or if you're trying to tell me something, you don't feel like I'm like, oh, girl, hush. And
No, well, unless I'm talking too much, then obviously you say, girl, hush. But, but then, like, if you're, like, not responding, then, like, I might wait for, like, a few seconds, and I might call again and say if you heard, and ask if you heard me, and, like, if you said no, then I'd repeat again, and if you said yes, then I'm like, can you answer my question now?
Okay, well, that's good. So you don't ever feel like I don't care about you?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you're a great mom.
Thank you. You're a great daughter. Okay, so my last question is, do you want to be a mom someday? And it's totally fine if you don't know.
I don't know, but at the same time, I do know. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
No, tell me more.
But it's kind of like when I'm on a math test, and, like, there's this one question that I just can't get, but I feel like I know the answer, but then I'm like, wait, I don't think that's it. But then I just go with the answer again, but I'm like, no. It's kind of like that.
Okay, so you think you know, but you're still not quite sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's okay, because you're 9, so you have plenty of time before you need to be a mom.
But the thing is, like, so many people have asked me this.
Really?
Yeah.
Who else asked you this?
Well, probably, like, Grammy or Auntie.
Oh.
Not gonna mention any more names.
So grown-ups are already asking you if you want to be a mom.
Yeah.
I think that is so interesting.
But I'm usually like, I'm not sure, probably not, like, but now that I'm a little bit older, because I was like 7 or 8, that, whatever they asked, I would say depends on how I feel about kids then.
I think that's a very smart answer.
Yeah. Because, like, if I'm like, oh my gosh, kids, there's so much work. I don't want to babysit. Don't even want to babysit. I hate kids.
Yeah. If you hate kids, you should not have kids.
Yeah, but if I'm like, oh my gosh, I love kids. They're so cute. They're so playful. They're so cheerful. Then, like, obviously I want one.
Well, just so we're clear, it's possible to love kids and not want to have kids. So I think that's the bare minimum, but that's not the only reason why you would decide to become a parent.
Yeah, but I need to make sure, like, it might take me a few weeks.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine if it takes you not weeks, but years to figure out whether or not you want to be a mom, because you've got lots of time to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for the record, there is no pressure. You totally don't have to have kids if you don't want to. And I think it's important for me to say that to you, because I don't think that's something that people say to little girls. I think lots of people make the assumption that all girls want to be moms and have their own families. And I think because of that, a lot of young women have babies without ever deciding that they want to have kids. And so I want to make sure that you know that becoming a parent is a choice that you can make, and that you should make the best choice for you when you're ready to make that choice, and nowhere sooner, no time sooner.
But now I'm just realizing that I'm a really, really, really little kid.
You
I'm real.
totally.
Right now, I'm just realizing that because I'm only 9 years old and I have like at least 90-something years left.
Listen, I was 31 years old when I had you. So you can take even more than 20 years. You've got literally decades to decide. So no rush.
Well,
Okay?
I'm almost born in 1 decade.
Oh my gosh.
So
there
now
you
I
go,
get to
making me
say-
feel old again.
So now I get to say, back in the day, when I was little. Yeah.
Yeah.
No rule.
Oh boy. All right. Well, that was the last question I had for you. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything else you want to say to the folks who are listening?
Have a good day, and you're an amazing parent if you're a parent, and if you're not a parent, then you're an amazing person.
Aw, I love that. Thank you, Naomi. All right, y'all. That's it for today's interview. Thanking our special guest, Little Miss Naomi. You probably don't want me to call you Little Miss, do you?
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah. Naomi, my very own nugget. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Life Edit Project podcast. I'd love to hear what your favorite moment or key takeaway was from this conversation. You can send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter to let me know. My handle is @LifeEditProject, all one word, in all the places. My social media is linked up in the show notes to make it easy for you. Holla at your girl. I'll be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, don't just stay busy with the life you have. Get busy creating the life you want.